What's going on, y'all? Forward Fabian back again with a video. We're doing a reaction to 6 Lies America Told Me About Europe, man. Life in the UK. And I already know, man, based off first-hand experience, life in the UK is pretty sweet. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. Is it better than America, though? I don't know. That'll have to be debated. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and hop right into the video, though. Comment down below. Like the video.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. International Carl doing another video for you. If this is your first time to my channel, please, right now, stop and hit the like button. Consider subscribing. And as always, hit me in the comment section because those that have subscribed to my channel know that I'm always active in the comment section. Now, this video, we're going to talk about a couple lies that the United States pushes into us as Americans growing up. And let's talk about it right now. Let's get to it right now. Lie number one. This one is a funny one to me because in the United States, it's always, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're independent, I don't care where you're at on the political spectrum. You're always going to have a politician telling you that
they hate our freedoms, our freedom of religion, our freedom of speech, our freedom to vote and assemble and disagree with each other.
That's right. They hate us for our freedoms. Can you believe that? As if nowhere else in the world has any freedoms. Like Europe. You know, in Europe, they act like if you come to Europe, there's just no freedoms. What freedoms do I not have here in Europe? You know, as these are Western democracies with Western values and culture that has been exported to the United States. And it's become its own thing. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but freedoms exist here. I'm still scratching my head. What freedom do you have in America that I don't have here? Let's talk about.
Now, the Western democracies or whatever he's talking about is like on steroids in America. You know, the Western civilization is just, I don't know, bruh. Agree to disagree, but you know, westernized culture is kind of BS. It's ruined. It's been watered down. It's just one appreciates the simplicity of life. In modern times, things have just gone haywire. You know what I'm saying? And the freedom aspect, I don't know what he's talking about either. In the sense that, like, there's no freedom elsewhere. It's not like he's referencing a third world country. You know, he's referencing the UK. And, bruh, the UK fairly similar. Of course, not in terms of, like, infrastructure and things of that sort. But I'm talking, like, just the natural mindset of, like, the Westerners' mindset. And all that's been circulated. It's all America, UK, US. It's all the same. It's all the same, bro. And folks think the same. You can call them Brits if you want. They're still indoctrinated by the same type of perceptions, modern day beliefs. Like, it ain't no different.
Freedom of speech, for example. In America, you have freedom of speech. In the UK, for example, you don't have freedom of speech. What you do have is freedom of expression. Slight different tweak, but let's give you an example. In America, you can be as racist as you want to somebody. You can walk up to me, walk up to any black person and say the N-word all day long if you want. Where in the UK, you really couldn't do that because at some point you will cross a fine line of inciting racial hatred. So if you define your freedoms based on your ability to call somebody an N-word or call some Asian American some type of offensive word, by all means, you can have that freedom. I don't need that freedom.
We're going to have to go into detail about that one because, like, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, like, people would manipulate the two and be like, my form of expression is my speech. Like, and what's the fine line? That situation he mentioned seemed to be like a gray area. Because people racist all over the world, bro. You're telling me, oh, if you say the N-word one too many times in the UK, you can get fined for it. I don't know wholeheartedly, but that's just something that kind of racks my mind and makes me kind of want to think that one over a bit. Like, to what extent? That just seems like those waters are are kind of muddied on that topic of conversation.
But other people in America talk about it like freedom for guns. Ooh, guns, guns, guns. They want to take your guns. Well, let's see. Here in the UK, can you have guns? Yes. Can you have a rifle? Yes.
Not like that,
Can you
bro.
have a handgun? Yes. What does the Second Amendment say in the United States? It's highly regulated. So what is it here in the UK? Guess what? It's highly regulated. There's lots of regulations around what type of gun, where you have to store that gun, where you have to keep the ammunition, what do you have to do for the maintenance of that gun. Highly regulated. So you still have the freedom to have a gun. So if you define your freedoms as being able to have as many guns as you want in America, okay, fine, no argument. But I think that's a lie that they sell, that nobody here has any gun.
Dude, you can't fool me with that one, bro. Like, in my time is spent in UK, I got family in the UK. They be like, guns is like, they crack down. Like, okay, let's say you're permitted to have a gun. Like, there's no open carry out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. It's apples and oranges. Like, even in the States, in New York, their gun laws are heavily severe. You know, like, out there, they crack down. But you got certain states to where it's open carry and a little bit more lenient. He's kind of glazing over the topic. Well, you can have guns in the UK and you have guns in the US. It's the same. No, it's not the same. Because owning a gun in New York isn't the same as owning a gun in Texas. It's not the same in terms of, like, the wielding capability. Like, open carry, that's bottom line. Like, where you're able to wield your weapon, where you're able to have it, being able to have it on your person. You know, like, it's not the same, bro. So if you're just going to use a general statement, oh, well, guns, and if we still have guns here, okay. But the penalty is ridiculous for getting caught with a gun, man, in the UK. It's like they're just heavily surveillant on that. That's why everybody got a shank. Everybody got knives. If guns was so accessible out there and we have them too, we can do it too. People ain't gonna be toting shanks and like. If you're looking at the crime rate, or if you're looking at fatalities or like murders, and like the number one weapon used probably in the UK is probably some type of machete or a knife. You know, it's not gonna be no handgun. Where gun violence in the States is like, those numbers are extreme. He just trying to glaze over it, like, oh well,
Not true.
Nobody said they can't have guns out there.
Number 2. Social housing is a bad thing. It's something that you're supposed to segregate from the rest of the population. So, for example, in America, especially in LA where I'm from, or Southern California where I'm from, social housing, Section 8. Well, that's usually in a separate side of the city,
the
not
hood,
being seen. I don't even know where it's at.
The
because
Jacks.
where I grew up was nothing but beautiful homes, single family homes, no social housing. Where here in the UK, just in Europe in general, it's all sprinkled around you.
Yeah,
for example,
facts.
in the UK, I live in a beautiful big house, beautiful executive style estate. I have a nice car, but guess what?
That boy
On
got
this
money.
estate, and on several new estates, they all have social housing, and they do things that are different in the United States, or that they do here in the UK, that they wouldn't do or they don't do in the United States. You could be on social housing, but guess what? You can partially own that house. So that way you can be on the track. So you can buy 10% of the home,
eventually own
20% of the home, 50% of the home, and try to get all the way up to 100% of the home like me or you do. So that's a different strategy that they do, so that
facts.
social housing is good for everybody, because that way the kids get to interact with all people from all social and religious economic backgrounds. And you as an adult get to work and meet and mingle with people from all different backgrounds. I think the neighborhoods are better for it. They're safer for it. Less crime, because guess what? If you're in an executive style estate, well, guess what? You want to keep your home value high. You want to keep it nice and looking new. And that's going to put pressure.
He ain't lying about that, man. That's the one thing, like, the inner dynamics, bruh, is so just, like, different out there. And I'm talking about culturally, everything. Like, it's just a melting pot to where you have to figure out, like, you have to understand, like, I don't know, the differences in social circles, cultural diversity. Like, you're just thrown into it to where you adjust quickly. Out here, it's like, oh, we got the white neighborhood. Oh, we got the hood. Like, of course, you probably have heavily dominant areas within the UK that are probably, you know, more sided towards one ethnic background. But what I'm saying is, like, it's very common to be in areas to where it's just diverse in general. You know, and it's just like, it's a beautiful thing, man, because I appreciate being in places to where it's diverse. I don't like when it's just one type of person or individual or ethnic group. Like, that's just weird to me sometimes. And then the people in that society haven't had any kind of social dynamic to where they're able to be, like, you know, mesh well. They're not able to talk to folks. They're weird. They're naturally weird. Oh, there's a black guy. Oh my God, he's black. Oh my God, it's the Asian kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, they so odd about it. And that's just goofy to me. It's just weird to me. It's crazy to think how so far we're behind as, like, modern humanity still. Because some people live in areas that are so closed off to where they're not intertwining with the norms of the world. But it's like, you still live in the past, bruh.
Keep style estate. Well, guess what? You want to keep your home value high. You want to keep it nice and looking new. And that's going to put pressure on the social housing to also keep their house nice, keep the estate looking nice and new and fresh. So I think that's a myth, and I think that's something that should be revisited in the United States. Number 3, in America, they teach you this, that somehow being a hard worker means coming in early, staying late, never taking a vacation, and definitely don't call in sick.
And Brown
That
knows
is like the biggest mistake you could ever make, faux pas you can make. I'll give you an example. When I was working for a large airframe manufacturer in the United States, I remember a friend of mine, we wanted to take 2 weeks off and go do something. Our managers looked at us like we were crazy because we wanted to have the audacity to take 2 weeks off. And mind you, we didn't take any days off prior to that. We just wanted to take 2 weeks off in a year so we could go do something. They were like, no, rejected, slim that down to a week. And I'm thinking, isn't that my time off to relax, to recharge my battery so I can come back to work? No. Now I think,
whoa, that's an HR case. You telling me you had 2 weeks worth of PTO stored up and they told you how you could use it? No, we only want you using 1 week. We need you back on the job. Bro, what is you talking about? Whoa, leave that company immediately or sue them, find whatever you need to do immediately. That's bad practice, bro. That's bad practices right there. You got all these hours of PTO and they telling you, no, we need you to use 3 days this week. You want to take a full week? Nah. Bro, you just a statistic. You're a number. You're a number. Believe it or not. Don't listen to these clowns, bro. Like, you're replaceable. You're a number. That's why they just feel like they can dictate what you do with your life. You're a slave. Honestly.
minds and hearts have
slave
changed
mentality
a little bit in the United States back from when I started working, back in the early 2000s, or mid 2000s, I should say. But that was a faux pas. Well, here in the United Kingdom and here in Europe, for example, it's encouraged to take time off. You get 20, 25 plus days off in mostly all European countries. I think by law in the Europe.
The thing about European countries is they understand mental health and they understand like the family dynamic. They be like, man, go get your mind right, man. Go spend some time with your family, you know? And this is why like those communities are tighter knit. Like if you go across Europe, of course there's occurrences that happen, but you'll find like the family dynamic isn't like always just broken. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, or like the modern family, you know, the nuclear family died ages ago, but it's like the modern family don't sit at the dinner table together. You got one in one room, one in the other room, and your pops is watching TV on the couch with this TV dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's weird. There's a huge emphasis over there on being home, and like they go home for lunch. They go home for lunch in Europe. I remember seeing my cousins come home and I'm like, why are y'all back so early? Oh, it's lunch break. I'm like, what? They sent y'all home to eat lunch? The hell? It's just crazy to me, bruh. Wild.
European Union, you have to have 20 days off. So it's encouraged to take time off because either you use it or you lose it. And for example, I think Sweden, if I can find the article, it's on the screen now. But if not, Sweden is actually doing a trial where they're reducing the work hours to 6 hours to see if it increases productivity.
It will.
Because employers are seeing that the employees are more rested and more focused when they come back to work. Number
what do you think?
4, America sells you this, that capitalism and consumerism go hand in glove. It's like this cycle. You have to work to buy, to work again to pay for what you buy, to buy some more stuff, to then work again and go down this continuous loop of working to live. And in Europe, one of the things that I find, I think is a beauty and a benefit of working and living in Europe is that there's more of a work-life balance. As I just talked about in point number 3, is that you have time off to actually do stuff. And you don't just have this endless working to consume. Don't get me wrong. We go on vacation, so we're consuming what I would call, we are consuming experiences, but we don't live to work, we work to live. And that is a benefit of living in Europe, and I think that is great. And I think the US sells a lie to its people by telling them that you have to work hard to then buy stuff.
It's not a lie, it's facts. In the sense that you ain't working, you ain't eating. Europe has the mentality of working with you in the sense that like they're reducing hours. They're doing things within the workplace to make it accommodating, right? Oh, go home for lunch. Take as many, like they're actually appeasing their society, the community. It ain't a lie in America because you ain't getting nothing if you ain't working. It's not a lie. It's the truth. Now, is it a valid truth in the sense that it's like, it's cohesive? Or what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say it's not profitable, but it's not beneficial at all. Is it beneficial to us? No, because then there's folks who just, you know, they got that phrasing, everybody dies, but not everybody lives, bro. That's the thing. Like life, if life is just the 9-to-5 mentality nonstop, bro, it's like, what are we really doing here? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? What's happening? If it's just about you in the rat race and you're continuously on the hamster wheel, then yes, that's what we're coming to understand. That the goal is to deplete you and then replace you. Like you're treated like a bot, basically. Keep working. These companies don't really care about you like that, bro. And so many people are just caught in the cycle in the system. They don't even know where to start to break the mold. I can't be one of them, bruh. Folks be fighting so hard just to break the mold and be different and do different things that, like, what do you have at the, like, you can save up X amount of dollars and then you're gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather spend life actually, like, with people I care about, love, but there's still the same narrative. You have to work hard to achieve things. That opportunity don't just fall in your lap. You got to accomplish.
And never do anything. Number 5, which kind of ties into the first one I said, but it really is on the Republican right side in America. They always preach, especially during the Obamacare era, 2012, was all about these death panels. They literally produced a video where they were throwing grandma off a cliff because of social medicine.
Make no mistake about it, President Obama and the Democrats who supported Obamacare began throwing seniors off the cliff back.
Dang. They threw him under the bus. Said, bro, you killing our grandmas and our aunties, bro.
The evils of social medicine, that you were going to have death panels if you got sick. I mean, how ridiculous of a lie that is. I mean, it's a bold-faced lie. I've lived here 11, 12 years. I have yet to ever see a death panel. I have known some older people. I know some younger people. I know myself. You can walk into any hospital in any country in Europe and there's not a single death penalty. What do you expect them to say? Oh, sorry, you had a heart attack last year, Mr. Carl, but since you had one last year, we're not going to treat you for this heart attack because the panel has refused your care. On a side note, you kind of already have that in America. You just have it through the insurance companies because guess what they do? Decide not to cover you. They say, it's a pre-existing condition. I don't think you can do that anymore, but they'll say that, or they'll find a way to deny coverage. They'll make it so high to cost to do it that you have to do it out of pocket. And guess what? Now you're bankrupt. So that loops right back to number one. How are you free if you have to live with the pressure of going bankrupt and not being able to pay your bills? Because guess what? You have the audacity to break your hip, get sick. I don't know. You pick it. So those are the 5 things that I think that the United States lies or misleads its people on purpose to further whatever big business or whatever political agenda that they have to the people. I'm going to leave you with a bonus one, which is kind of strange if you look at it. Because number 6 is this. In America, every day, all students around the nation get up every morning and say the Pledge of Allegiance. You pledge yourself and align yourself to the United States flag and to the republic for which it stands. Now, that's not something that's common in Europe. In many Western countries, I don't know of any other Western country that makes its kids get up every morning. I do know of one back in 1938, 1942-ish time. Those kids used to get up and actually pledge allegiance to their flag and to their Führer. But I don't know if that's something we should necessarily be doing. Don't get me wrong, I love my country. I'm very patriotic about it. I love the 4th of July for all its, my country is never perfect, but I think it
Don't he live in Europe? How's he talking about I love my country?
can get better. But that's mine. Hit me in the comments.
Hey, lying. When you really look at the Pledge of Allegiance is kind of weird. Like, it's one thing having a Star Spangled Banner. You know what I'm saying? I know every, like, country got their own ode musically. But, like, the pledges, I remember every single day, you know, as a kid, you had to stand up and the principal would get on the loudspeaker or something like that. Oh, it's time for the pledge. As a kid, you just like, okay. But now you think about it, it's like, for what? And that's not even disrespectful, you know. But of course, the super patriots will be like, "Oh my God, you hate America." Oh, man, there he go, man. Bro said 6 lies America told me about Europe. Of course, America can tell you Europe about other places. Duh. That's what America does. It tries to tell the world that we're the best, and so it's gonna, you know, excavate on everybody else. So it's kind of different. Comment down below, man. Let me know y'all's thoughts. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless, baby. See y'all in the next video.